everybody, welcome to Ayumilove channel for another Raid Shadow Legends video guide. Today I'll be showcasing you my Fire Knight team from Fire Knight Castle artifacts. But before I get started, let me share with you a news that Plarium has released today, which is the patch 4.60.2. As you can see here, the super raids are here. Let's click on the raid mode to find out what are they. So basically, Plarium mentioned that you can now save time farming and get double the rewards in your dungeon runs with super raids. So it uses twice the energy, and at the end of the run, it will give twice of the experience points and double the rewards in the time it takes to run just one raid. So based from all this news, I noticed that this super raid is only available for specific events, as mentioned in here, like Fire Knight Castle for the Rorik Rumbane tournament event, as well as the Ice Golem pick for Rorik Rumbane tournament event. So it's quite a bummer that it only available on certain time and not for all dungeons every time. So let's take a look at this feature. So if we were to go to the, as you noticed on the bottom right corner of the screen, you can see super rates. You click on super rates. And this is a shortcut super rates with the man running to the right corner, to the right side, click on it, you'll straight away open the Fire Knight Castle. Or another way you can find the icon is to scroll to the dungeon map and find out which is the one that has the super rate or the running man. So currently the running man X times 2 will be running for 3 days. So you can see here, it also explains one rate for twice the experience points and twice the rewards. So let me show you my Fire Knight team for stage 25. So currently is battle 40 because I already enabled the super rates here. If you uncheck these super rates, it'll be 20 by default. So there, battle 20 energy. So if you click the eye icon, it just explains what I've mentioned earlier, which is double the rewards in one super rate. Alright, so basically my team comprises of Seer in the lead position to provide all resist in all battles by 40. Actually, resistance is not so important in here, but just basically put it here. So Seer roles is to nuke the enemy wave. And second one would be Renegade, is to reduce the skill cooldowns of all champions by 2 turns. Ida the Death Siren is to apply the decreased defense and weaken to increase the damage output that Seer can output. And also she provides 2 buff, I think strengthen and increase speed. So more buff for Seers to consume to increase her damage. Next champion would be Light Swan, which is an epic champion from the Sacred Orders. Is here to provide more buff for Seer to increase her damage as well as to apply decreased speed on the boss. And finally, we have Allure to crowd control the boss with her decreased turn meter on her default attack. So let's click on the team setup. So let's see. So this is the team. This is the AI preset for Seer. I forces her to use Karma Burn. By setting this as a first priority, there are some times where Seer does not want to nuke the enemy for some reasons. I'm not sure, but I'll just use this to force her to use Karma Burn. Second, we have Renegade with all skills on default. Lydia as well, the same, all default. Light Swan, default as well. And finally, Allure. I have to disable her skill, Hellish Blaze, so she only prioritizes on these 2 skills. Right? So let me walk through you how this team runs. Let me click the super rate while I can show you the end result of the super rates. Let's click start. So I already disabled autos to explain to you how this team works. So basically, Lydia's AI will prioritize on this skill, Siren's Will, which attacks all enemies and places a decreased defense weaken on the enemies to increase Seer's damage output. Then she also simultaneously places strengthen and increased speed buff on all allies. So let's see. Boom. Okay. So the next person comes in is Seer. Seer will use her A2 skill, which is the Temptation, which attacks all enemies 2 times, and each hit has a 30% chance of placing decreased defense debuff for 1 turn and places split debuff for 1 turn on targets under decreased defense debuff. So since every enemies in the first wave already has increased the big version of decreased defense debuff, you will notice the sleep debuff will be placed on all enemies. So let's take a look. Alright, all enemies now have sleep debuff. Then finally, the next champion would be Light Swan. So Light Swan will uses his Indomitable skill, which places increased defense buff and revive on death buff. So actually this buff is just meant for Seer to increase her damage output. Not necessary to decrease the damage done by the enemies, since all the enemies will be dead once Seer nuke. And finally, Seer will come in with her Karma Burn, which remove all buffs from all allies and enemies, then attacks all enemies. Damage increases according to the number of removed buffs. Has a 50% chance of placing sleep debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. The chance of placing sleep debuff increases by 5% for each buff removed. So 50% at the base and 5% for every buff removed. So here there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 buffs on each champion. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 75. 75 plus 50% is over 100%. So if the enemy survives the attack, they'll get sleep again because the chance is 100%. Oh yeah, there's a 3% chance where the enemy can resist it. So let's press auto. So it just nukes everyone. Okay, so since all the champions here are under skill cooldown, they won't be able to replicate the first their action on the first wave. So how do we do the same thing on the second wave here? That's where Renegades come in. Renegade will reset all their skill cooldown by 2 turns. As you notice, Lydia the Death Siren has her Siren's Will on 2-turn cooldown. So by the time when it reaches Renegade, she will basically reset this skill cooldown as well as for the other champions as well. So in this moment, in order for for my champions to attack the enemies again on the second round, these champions must be over 200 plus speed, because the enemies will be around 100 to 110 speed. So you need at least 200 and above speed to take 2 turns of the enemy turn. So they will do their default attacks or whatnot. On the first turn, Renegade will reset. Then on the second turn, then they will perform the same abilities like what you have seen in the first round. So in this moment, Lydia will use her A3 skill, the nullification. Alright, then Seer will come in with her Psychic Whip, since I've already disabled Unleash Blaze in the AI preset. Next will be Light Swan. Light Swan will use his Brutality to apply decreased attack and decreased speed. Then Seer will use her Clan Banner to apply critical rate and weaken for additional buff, and weaken to make the enemies weak to increase the damage output for all champions. And now Renegade will come in with her The skill Sacrificial Ritual, which decreases the cooldown of all ally skills by 2 turns. This skill does not affect this champion or other champions with this skill. This champion will receive damage equal to 30% of the max HP. This will happen even if you kill this champion. So let's see. I press auto. As you notice, there's a purple swirling icon above all the champions. This will only happen if the champion has ability that is under skill cooldown. Now, as you notice, Lydia comes in with her second turn, and her Siren's Wheel is already now available to be used. So these champions will all use their skills at the same order, like what you have seen in the first turn. Lydia comes in with a decreased defense and weaken. Alert sleeps everyone. As you notice, this enemy has resisted. There's a 3% chance of resisting the debuff. Then finally, like Swan applies his extra buff, and Seer will come in and nuke. Alright, now we are at the boss. So Lydia will use her A3 skill, Nullification, which attack 2 times. This is quite good since it reduces the boss shield by 2 times. We need a lot of multi-hit champions in this team in order to bring the finite boss shield count quickly. So Lydia will -2 from his shield, followed by Allure, which she will prioritize on her Psychic Whip since I already disabled her Hellish Blaze. This is the reason why I want her to use her A1 skill to reduce the boss shield count quickly. So that sell more shields. Then Light Swan will come in with his A2, I believe, Brutality. Then Seer will come in with her Clan Banner. Then Renegade will use her Lash Out, which attacks 3 times to reduce the shield count by 3 times. Then Lydia with her default attack only 1 time, 1 hit. And finally Allure, who is the last, and there's a reason why, because she will now decrease the shield spores counter by 3. So 2 minus 3 is -1. And once the shield boss is down, then her decreased time meter will be applied. Because this Fire Knight boss has a passive skill. Let me check. Is it this one? Okay. Cloak of Fire. If Fyro starts a turn with the shield active, Fyro. Wait, is it this one? Let me see first. I think it's the first one. Starts the battle with a Divine Shield while active. The shield reduces the damage Fyro received by 80% and prevents Fyro from receiving any debuff or being affected by other skill effects. This shield cannot be removed by skills that remove debuff. Each hit Fyro takes decrease the strength of the shield. The shield will be broken when hit enough times. So basically that's it. You need the shield to be down in order for Allure's decreased meter effect to take place. So press auto. As you notice, the boss has already placed his shield down since he's quite tired of it, right? Alright, so Light one comes in with a decreased meter. Light one has a default attack applies decreased 10% decreased 10 meter similar to Allure. And also I have Light Swan with Evil Eye Mastery to further reduce the turn meter by 20% on single target hits. Then Seer will come in with decreased turn meter as well because I also have her in Evil Eye Mastery. Then followed by Renegade, Lingering Pain. She also, I believe, have Evil Eye as well, increases the 10 meter. Then Lydia comes in with A2 skill, decrease defense and weaken, Allure, decrease the meter again, and everyone does their thing. So whenever the boss turn meter is above 25%, Allure will always prioritize her A1 skill no matter what. So this is to crowd control the Fire Knight, which is quite smart. So now Renegade applies the small version of decrease speed, as you notice here, 15%. But this 15% is not sufficient to crowd control the boss. You need the bigger version of decrease speed, and that's where Light Swan come in. His brutality applies the 30% decrease speed. Once this is applied, and with alert here, the boss will not able to take his turn anymore. This will guarantee you a 100% win rate. So that's basically it for this Fire Knight boss guide. After this one, I will show you guys the artifacts, stats, and masteries for each champion. This run will take around about, I think, less than 2 minutes to run, without the explanation provided. Just full auto run. The only time where this team will fail is when the 3% is being resisted multiple times. Like if if Lydia wasn't able to apply her decreased defense, then you might mess up the team sequence. So with this super rate, as you noticed, it provides double the tournament points as well, double the silver, and 2 items here. One is critical damage, which has a very bad stats. I'll sell it. And one is flat stats defense, which is very bad stats as well. So let's click replay to see the full run. See how it goes full auto. So as you can see, the run will only take below 2 minutes to complete this Fire Knight Castle Stage 25. So I have her in Perception set and Speed set. And this is her artifacts. Weapon, helmet, shield, critical rate, glove, resistance chestplate, speed boots, HP ring, HP amulet, accuracy banner. Here are the total stats. Some HP, defense, speed, rate, and a decent amount of resistance and accuracy. Basically, this build is tailor-made to use in many areas in the game. The first one would be I speed tune her to 269 to use her in the clan boss build. One of the clan boss here, this build, uh, super tanky world build, which consists of Valkyrie, Iron Brago, Priest, Lydia, and the Priest Brockney. Okay. And also, she's built for Doom Tower, so I have her in high resistance and accuracy for Doom Tower hard content. And some damage for Arena. So her skills are all fully booked for it to to make this finite run to be consistent. And this is her masteries. This masteries is speed tuned for many areas in the game: clan, boss, Doom Tower Hut, and arena. I have her in War Master so she can deal some damage to bosses like the finite boss. And she also has an evil eye to reduce the enemy's turn meter. So the thing that you want to build for your masteries is to have, if you're just using Lydia the Death Siren for PvE content, I will highly recommend you to get War Master in this offense mastery tree and grab the like single out for more damage, and the boss or the enemies is under 40% HP. Bring it down when attacking higher max HP, and Methodical to increase her default attack damage. Then for the support mastery tree, I picked the pinpoint accuracy to increase her accuracy stats, Swan Smiter for more accuracy, Charge Focus for more accuracy, and Lore of Steel since I'm using Perception set that boosts the accuracy. Then this Lore of Steel will increase her sets base stat, which is this one. So these are basically the basic sets like speed 12%, accuracy 40, speed 5%. As you notice here in the mastery sections, you will increase these stats like debuff accuracy and speed. This year build is mainly for nuking, like Doom Tower Hut or those dungeons. So I have her in Savage set, which ignores 25% of enemy defense. And this is her artifacts. This is her weapon, helmet, shield, critical damage glove, defense chestplate, speed boots, defense ring, critical damage, amulet, and accuracy banner. This is her total stats. Health 34. So the thing that you want to prioritize for Seer is mainly increase critical rate. So she will always consistently deals critical damage on when she's nuking the enemies. As much critical damage as possible. Sufficient accuracy for the mobs. I currently just use her for dungeon clearing, so 225 accuracy and above will be sufficient to remove all the buff from the enemies as well. But some enemies in the Doom Tower Hut content will require much more accuracy than this and have her above 200 speed. So currently she's speed tuned to 213 to line up with the other champions in my team setup. The skills are all fully booked. The most important one is to have Karma Burn to be fully booked, Portent's cooldown, and Clan Banner. This is one of the best epic champion which does not use so many epic books compared to all the newer epic champions. You see, here there's only like 4 epic books, 4, 5, and 6, 7. Only 7 epic books compared to other champions. I think like who's like this guy? Like guy needs like this guy or this champion. I remember there's one champion that uses a lot of books. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Exemplar requires 13 epic skill tome. That's a lot. Alright, focusing back on the tier. So this is her masteries. For her masteries, you want to always grab flawless execution. If you're using her for PvE content, flawless execution will give you the most consistent run compared to like Town Smasher or War Master or Giant Slayer. If you're using Seer for PvP content, I would recommend you to go for Helm Smasher to deal more damage to tanky champions. But for PvE runs and Doom Tower speed runs, I will recommend to get Flawless Execution. Just copy this build. This build will help you out. Then Shield Breaker is not so important because you'll be removing the shields using Kamaban. But I use it to unlock this one, Ruthless Ambush, to increase her damage by 8% on the first hit. So when Seer nuke, he will grant 8% more damage. Then I have a single out to increase the damage. Also, we bring it down for more damage. And the most important part is this one. Yeah, opportunities. Increases the damage inflicted to targets with stun, sleep, fear, true fear, or freeze debuff by 12%. This mastery works very well with Allure because she applies sleep debuff, and when Sears nuke, that increases the damage by 12%. That's a lot of damage. So grab this mastery. If you're pairing Seer with any champions who has these crowd control skills. Okay. And as usual for the support mastery, pick the pinpoint accuracy. Swarm's Mitre charge focus for more accuracy stats. Evil Eye to decrease the turn meter of the boss. And Master Hexer to apply this debuff. So basically a skill applies. Alright, for the third champion, I have Allure here. She's built in mixed set. You have her Immortal, Perception, and Speed. Perception to provide more accuracy and speed. Reset for more speed, and Immortal to heals her every time. So this is her artifacts. This is a weapon, helmet, shield, critical rate glove, HP chestplate, speed boots, HP ring, critical damage amulet, and accuracy banner. So the stats that you want to prioritize on her would be speed, 100% critical rate, and accuracy. Then the rest you can add on, which is health and defense. So I currently tune her to be able to use in Doom Tower Hard as well. You need at least like 300 plus accuracy to achieve that. And critical rate is very important for Allure because her psychic whip decrease turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. If this hit is not critical, this turn meter uh, reduction will not be placed. So you need to have 100% critical rate for your run to be consistent. And you do not need Allure to be booked at all. I basically book her to increase her chances to apply this decreased defense as a backup plan if Lydia the Depth Siren was not able to apply the decreased defense, the big version of the decreased defense, 60% decrease. Alert does not need to be booked at all if you're just relying on her A1 skill. Psychic Whip attacks 3 times at random, decreases the target stat meter by 35% on each critical hit. However, if you would like your run to be much more consistent, I would recommend you to book her A2 skill Temptation. Reason being, there are some times where Lydia the Death Siren will not be able to place her big version of 60% of the decreased defense debuff because the enemy has a 3% chance of resisting it no matter how much accuracy you have. So if Lydia's big version of the decreased defense is not being applied, this is where Ella comes in. She'll apply the mini version of decreased defense, then Seer would be able to nuke the enemy. You need at least decreased defense debuff on the enemies for Seer to be able to consistently nuke the enemy. I pick offense and support mastery tree. Offense tree to unlock Giant Slayer because Allure has 3 hits on her A1. And this Dry Slayer allows to deal more damage for multi-hit champions that has multi-hit on their default attack. So in here, I picked Deadly Precision for more critical rate, Keen Strike for more critical damage, Life Drinker to heal alert if her HP is down, more damage with Bring It Down, Methodical to increase her A1 attack, and if alert is able to kill champion, then she will increase her damage. This one would be great for Doom Tower content, such as like the Scarab King. For support mastery tree, I just picked all the masteries that is related to boosting her accuracy stats. And since I'm using mixed set of basic stats, Lore of Steel will help her a lot here. And finally, I picked Sniper to increase her chance of placing the mini version of the 30% decrease defense. So as you notice here, her temptation has only like a maximum of 50% chance when fully booked. So Sniper here, where is it? This Sniper Mastery will increase that chance by 5 more percent. But this does not increase the chance for sleep. Alright, that's for Allure. Let's move on to the next champion. So we have a Renegade. So here we have Renegade, fully maxed out. She is geared in shield set to provide additional buff for Seer to consume for her Karma Burn to deal more damage. And these are the stats on each artifact. Here is the weapon, helmet, shield, decorate glove, accuracy chestplate, speed boots, attack ring, critical damage amulet, and accuracy banner. I have her, these are the total stats. I have her in sufficient accuracy to allow Renegade to apply her decreased speed on the boss. It's quite useful to slow them down if Light Swan wasn't able to apply his decreased speed early on. She's speed tuned to 12, just below CS speed by one speed stat. So the thing that you want to focus here would be like accuracy, speed, and some HP and defense. I currently built her squishy because I also use Renegade in my Dragon Slayer speedrun. I want her to be defeated quickly by the boss so that my attacker can knock down the dragon boss quickly. So basically these are the stats. The skills are fully booked, but actually you just need this sacrificial ritual to be fully booked. I wasn't so lucky to get this skill to be booked. All these skills were booked, and before this one was built, was fully maxed out. So I wasn't lucky to get this book first. But this is the only skill that you need to be fully booked. And this is Renegades Masteries. As usual, the mastery will be same like Seers. No, I think Lydia. You will just need a War Master and all those damaging masteries as well as the accuracy one. Okay, that's for Renegade. Alright, this is Light Swan. So my Light Swan is equipped in 2 Divine Speed and 1 Accuracy set. So here are the artifact stats. Here's the weapon, helmet, shield, critical rate glove, defense chestplate, speed boots, defense ring, critical damage amulet, and HP banner. I do not have an accuracy banner for secret orders. Here are the total stats. You want to prioritize on the speed and accuracy followed by defense and HP. Last one is speed tune to go before Seer. So he's like 230 speed. Right, so this is his master skills. The most important thing for Light Swan to work in this team, you need to have his A3 Indomitable skill to be fully booked. a skill cooldown. And this brutality to be a 3-turn cooldown. You need this to be fully booked. If you do not have this book, your run will not be consistent, and you can't apply this decrease speed quickly enough for the Fire Knight boss will take his turn. And also, what makes Light Swan special for this Fire Knight is, yes, his default attack is a multi-hit which hits 3 times, which helps in reducing the shields boss shields counter by 3 times. There are times where somehow if your team wasn't able to clear the wave because of the enemy resisting Lydia's decreased defense or weaken, and by the time when you reach to the boss where the team sequence is out of order, then Lightsword will comes in with his 3 times multi-hit to reduce the shield count, which helps a lot. And here are the masteries for Lightsworn. Since it's a multi-hitter like Allure, you'll pick Giant Slayer to maximize his damage output. And Life Drinker to heal him. His HP is down. Bring it down for more damage, and Kill Streak. Kill Streak is to unlock the Giant Slayer. For the support mastery tree, I'll pick Rapid Response to speed him up. Or Steel for more base stats from his artifact sets. And the most important is the Evil Eye to reduce the boss turn meter on the first hit of his default attack. And Master Hexer to decrease the debuff duration of his skill, the decrease speed and decrease attack, if the boss manages to take his turn. So that's basically it for all the champions. Lightsworn can be replaced with Siege Hulk as a skill that applies a decreased turn meter, similar to Lightsworn. If the person is under decreased defense or decreased speed, and he also applies buff two buff, increased critical rate and increased critical damage. So this makes your run much more consistent. With more buff means more damage for Seer. And when this is fully booked, it's a 100% chance of placing decreased speed. So basically, Siege Hulk has all the necessary ingredients like Swan to be used in Fire Knight Castle, but currently I do not have him. I only obtained Siege Hulk from one of the fusion events, but I need to use him to fuse the champion. So this is one of the alternatives that you can swap for Light Swan. For Lydia, you can swap in with Ghost Spawn, but one of the disadvantage is you need champion. See, I've tested with Ghost Spawn, it also works, but then you need to compensate the buff that she provides. Since Lydia provides 2 buff, strengthen and increase speed, Ghost Spawn only applies 1 buff. So as you can see, he makes the run much more consistent because he applies the decreased defense, which is unresistible. So that makes the run much more consistent. But the downside is he only provides 1 increased attack buff. So in order for this team to work, you need to equip your champions in accessory that can produce shields, the blood shield accessory. So there are more buff for Allure to consume to increase her damage output on her Karma burn. Here there's no alternative because she has the most unique skill that deals high amount of damage based on the number of buff. The alternative for Renegade is you can use Prince Kaimar. With his A3 skill, Seal or Magic, resets the cooldowns of all ally skills and also fills the turn meter of all allies except this champion by 20%. So this is like a more powerful version of Renegade. If you're new to my YouTube channel, click on the subscribe button. It does not cost anything. It's free. And it also helped me to get access to the Playroom's test server so I can try out different build without costing so much of my resources here. If you found this video helpful, click on the like button and share it with your friends so they can benefit from this guide as well. So that's it for this video guide on Fire Knight's castle. Hopefully you learned something on how to build your Fire Knight team so you can farm better gears from Fire Knight castle as well as to complete the Fire Knight tournament quickly. Alright, that's it folks. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.